To remain updated with the latest business news, click on the bell icon.
And we at Business Today TV got you the biggest voices from the world of unicorns. A flurry of new age companies debuted on the bourses this year. Nykaa, of course, painted the Lal Street pink with a stellar listing. We had a word with the lady who made it all possible, Falguni Nair. Listen in to her listing out future plans for the company.
I have a big plans to continue our store rollout. I think it was held up last year due to COVID realities, and I think we are pushing the pedal on store rollout, and we are already in more than 40 cities with more than 80 stores, and I think the same momentum on store addition will continue. I think every couple of months you'll see that we're adding 3-4 stores, and I think on an annual basis I do believe that we'll add at least 40-50 stores, because I think the consumer adoption of e-commerce is growing, and Nykaa will also continue to acquire new customers, and short-term profitability is always a balance between new customer acquisition and returning customer behavior. And I think Nykaa is very focused on our CRM strategies to make sure that our existing customers also keep coming back, and I think we will pursue balanced growth in terms of be patient to build our company for the long run strength, and try to maintain a pace of growth that is affordable and sustainable.
Talking about listing on the bourses, India's biggest IPO had a disaster of a start on the Lal Street. Where did Paytm go wrong? Did the high valuation dent the company's D Street debut? Well, we asked Vijay Shekhar Sharma what would he do differently if he had to do it all over again. Listen in to what the Paytm top boss had to say.
I would do one thing differently, that I would reach out to much wider audience, much wider number of investors than a much lesser number that we would have reached out. So we reached out to institutional investors, international, domestic, and we reached out and narrated our detailed story to them as a roadshow. We did some conferences, as they say, is in retail here. I would do lot more interaction, lot more explanation of business model than by now we've done. And also another thing that in hindsight I would have decided is that our few quarters forward numbers are there with us because we see the business day to day and every day. Obviously, thanks to the obligation of audited and obligation of filing certain information, only a selected information, it also makes me understand that we should probably bring lot more information, lot more I would say business KPIs sooner in public market, so that people are able to appreciate what we are talking works out.
While this has been the year of new age businesses, with many going the Lal Street way and many others turning unicorn, but are these businesses here to stay? Who will make it to the end of the race? Will some of these companies perish along the way? Policy Bazaar's Yashish Daya had this to say when we asked him the same.
There's a lot of unnecessary euphoria. I have zero doubt there. I'm myself somebody who is as much a pessimist as an optimist. And I do see a lot of people having unnecessary euphoria. In fact, I would even go to the extent of saying some people may be investing because investing is profitable, because they make money every time they invest. So I think there's a lot going on in the world. There is a lot of capital. And I think there will be interesting situations. But then who are we to say? Sometimes these lack of interesting situations carry on for so long that they make the interesting outcome, which rational people believe are going to be there, sometimes impossible.
Not only did the number of unicorns shoot up this year, a record number of startups garnered huge amounts of funding. But are these companies profitable, and what kind of revenues are they clocking in? What's making investors bullish about these companies? Listen in to Cred's Kunal Shah.
We are a 2.5-year-old company, and I think at the right time we'll talk about revenue projections. We are very, very early in our journey, and we would prefer to kind of focus on the user experience than just kind of obsessively focus on revenue and profitability at this point of time. We have very supportive investors who are playing along with us and saying that, hey, if we can get the right kind of experience for the right kind of customers, monetizing this cohort is not difficult.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.